as we assume, anticipate, and analyze the challenges and solutions for the education world in our candid COVID classroom, where we meet and greet the new normal. This program is brought to you by Education, which looks at education ahead, and it's powered by the Anil University. Let me have the pleasure, the honor and the privilege of introducing our very, very special chief guest for the day, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, who is the chairman of the All India Council for Technical Education. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Each of our distinguished people will be asking questions directly from you. We will also be showcasing some of the questions and some of the pointers of the HRD minister.
My question is that the students who are in class 10, 12, in the final year of the graduation and post-graduation, can we allow them maybe 1/3 or maybe 1/4 of the children for each institution to come to the campus and learn in the campus by maintaining all the norms? Because online is not reachable to everyone.
So teaching is only one part of it. The second part and most important part is how much has he grasped it, how much is he able to use it, how much is he able to apply. They are more important, and therefore general guidelines based on the kind of distancing that is required to be maintained in the next couple of months. We don't know how far it will go. It may be restricted to only 2 months, or it may even continue beyond that, depending on how spread of the coronavirus continues to happen. And therefore, we are all crossing our fingers and watching, and we only pray Almighty that let us come out of this and start normal life.
When this industry is going through such a cataclysmic change, and people have got altogether very different priorities, what would be the focus of higher education that is going forward?
We want thinkers. We want people who will be able to analyze situations. We want people who are value-based, who are ethical, who are moral. I think that will come only in a context where a student is in contact with a teacher, and teacher must have these values. Please remember, excellent teachers should be inducted into the education system as teachers, and they should transform this to their children. So education is comprehensive. With the new normal, we must remember that we will certainly use technology to reach out to as many people as possible and to give quality content, but at the same time, all other things which I mentioned are equally important.
What part of practical learning can be digital? Can we have virtual labs? Can we create virtual studios? Are we thinking on those lines?
We all think that education means only through the classroom mechanism. There are many things which students learn outside the classroom. The life outside is so enriching. There is a lot to learn from there as well. And therefore, if you give very interesting and innovative problems to students in the classroom and say that you have to go and move around, find out what you are finding out of that, I think you lead to critical thinking, analytical ability, synthesizing the solutions of the problems. I think great learning will happen outside the class. They are both simulation-based experiments as well as some of them which are virtual experiments conducted from remote areas. So both types of experiments are available on the online portal of MHRD, which we call as Virtual Labs platform. And one can really, at a time, organize a laboratory experiment for thousands of students.
On EduMate, we often talk about the need for employability, and I've often asked this question to Anilji. I think Father G.P. Amalraj has a question in the same direction.
How do you visualize the future of India for the youth of today? What will be the job opportunity in store for them with this change? Do you think they would be standing a chance?
The future of Indian education system and Indian students is going to be brighter than ever for multiple reasons.
As this uncertain situation has come up, teachers were not that ready. Do we have in coming days some specific plans to give technical training to our teachers, as we don't know that when we are going to be meeting our children physically in coming days?
I think the power of technology has to be used, and I welcome all of you. Whoever is needing this help, we are prepared to handhold and mentor.
How can smaller tuitions and institutions located in rural areas and smaller towns bridge the digital divide between them and their students in comparison to institutions located in cities and their students.
We must have changed in the last 5 years, at least 5-6 phones. And the older phones, which were still working in terms of working condition, but because of a new model being bought, we have thrown it here and there. If you throw it outside, it will become an electronic waste and create environmental hazard. If it is slightly bad, you fix it up, and if we start donating it to libraries of the colleges and those who cannot afford, if smartphones are made available and through some government agency or some of these telecom companies under CSR give some amount of data being freely downloadable, I think we will be able to reach everyone. With this, I think we can avoid what is today called as digital divide, as far as possible. Thank you, Chetan Sharma, and both Adamas University and EduMate TV have been doing a wonderful job of connecting with people of all sectors and the churning that takes place. It is like Samudra Manthan, and we will get what you say, Amruta. You carry the Amruta to the government and let us all drink that poison and like Shiva and make this education system glorious. Dhanyavad.
Today, I think it was a very insightful session. Of course, the Murphy's Law is still at work. What can go wrong still goes strong, and probably at the most critical time. Should we reset the goals of our human progress, or should we continue the race? Is there more to life than increasing its speed? After all, education, maybe I say this again and again, education is to make good human beings and not merely human doings.
Chetan, it was excellent webinar today. I have really felt very, very enlightened. And I'm very sure with teachers who are participating in this event, all positive people will bring a major change and divide will gradually be filled up. And thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak on this occasion.
It was very enlightening. Thank you.
One thing is for sure, this COVID-19 crisis had a silver lining, and we are all decided to re-evaluate our priorities and design our education system in such a way that we are going to move ahead.
It was a wonderful experience for me.
Very enlightening and inspiring sessions. I liked interacting with Dr. Sahasrabudhe. He had very good suggestions to give, and so many other luminaries from the education sector. I really enjoyed this. It was very inspiring.